So I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like happiness is this weird shimmering mirage?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone has.
Right. You know exactly the feeling I mean. You're scrolling through your phone.
Looking at everyone living their absolute best life.
Exactly. Looking at the perfectly plated food or those vacations in the Amalfi Coast or just whatever viral trend is happening right now.
Yeah, the constant demand for instant gratification.
And you think to yourself, okay, if I just get that one thing, if I get that promotion or that new car or just get a certain number of likes, then I'll have arrived.
But then you actually get there.
And the feeling just slips through your fingers like sand. It's this universal pursuit of the good life. But in this age, it feels way more like we're just chasing a ghost.
It really is the defining paradox of our time. I mean, we have
Okay.
more access to fun, right? More entertainment, more comfort, more dopamine triggers than literally any generation in human history.
By the numbers, we should be ecstatic.
We really should.
Yeah.
Yet that deep, resonant sense of fulfillment is harder to find than ever. And that's why I'm genuinely excited about the deep dive we're doing today.
Same here. So today we're unpacking a framework called the 4 Pillars of Human Fulfillment. And what I love about this source is that it's not just a list of tips.
No, it's an anatomy lesson.
Yes, an anatomy lesson. It dissects what is actually happening in your brain and your soul when you feel quote unquote good. And what draws me into this specific deep dive is where the source starts.
Right. It doesn't start with the modern psychologist.
No, it anchors the whole discussion on a really heavy-hitting statement by Joseph Smith, the founder of the Latter-day Saint movement. He said, quote, "Happiness is the object and design of our existence, and will be the end thereof if we pursue the path that leads to it."
It's a massive claim, the object and design of our existence.
Yeah.
And whether you're religious or not, there was a structural argument there that is just fascinating. The idea is that humans are actually engineered for a specific outcome.
But the core problem here, and this is what our whole mission is for this deep dive, is that we have completely messed up the blueprint because of our vocabulary.
The linguistic mess.
The linguistic mess, yes. We use words like excitement, happiness, joy, and satisfaction as if they are total synonyms.
We interchange them constantly.
Right. I mean, if I say I'm happy to see you or I'm excited to see you, I'm basically communicating the exact same positive vibe to you.
But this framework argues that conflating these terms is actually dangerous.
It really is. It's like confusing diesel fuel with unleaded. If you put the wrong one in your engine, you aren't going anywhere.
That's a great way to put it. If you treat excitement as if it's joy, or if you try to swap happiness for satisfaction, you're going to end up confused and burned out.
Because you're chasing the wrong things.
Exactly. You're expecting a result that those emotions just aren't designed to give. So our goal today isn't just to discuss a religious ideal, but to use this breakdown of emotional chemistry to create a practical roadmap for mental and spiritual well-being.
We're going to take these 4 distinct pillars and figure out where they actually fit in the architecture of a life.
So let's get into it.
Okay, let's grab the hard hat and look at the blueprints. The first pillar is the one we are probably most addicted to, especially in the digital age. The spark. Excitement?
Excitement is defined here as the spark of existence. It's highly physiological.
It's a state of high arousal.
High energy, high anticipation. You can think of it as the ignition system of the human experience.
And this is the fun stuff, right? The source material paints these incredibly vivid pictures. It's that hype feeling in the pit of your stomach right before a summer music festival.
Oh yeah,
Or the adrenaline spike when you hit a game-winning shot in a pickup game. Or, and I think everyone listening knows this one, the rush you get when a specific person's name pops up on your phone notification.
visceral is the right word for it. You feel it in your chest, your stomach. And let's be clear up front, excitement is not the villain here.
No, it's crucial.
It provides the activation energy to start new projects, to introduce yourself to a stranger, to explore a new city. Without excitement, life would be incredibly flat.
It's the spark plug.
Right, it's the spark plug.
But you can't run a car on just the spark plug.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting and honestly a little alarming for me personally. The framework talks about the trap of excitement.
The trap is real.
Because excitement has a very specific requirement to exist, which is novelty.
Novelty is the absolute fuel for excitement. It requires something new, and this is where the neuroscience kicks in because our brains are completely wired to adapt.
Right, so when you get that new car, the first week is pure exhilaration.
But by month 3,
It's just your car.
it's just transportation, the novelty fades, and so does the excitement.
So if you're building your life around that feeling, living for the next party, the next video game release, the next weekend trip, you're basically setting yourself up for failure.
Setting yourself up for the hedonic treadmill.
Okay, the hedonic treadmill. Break that down for us because I hear that term thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean in this specific context?
Sure. Imagine you're on a treadmill. You have to keep running just to stay in the exact same place. In psychological terms, it means your baseline for happiness keeps moving up.
Ah, I see.
So if you spike your dopamine with a huge thrill today, tomorrow you need a bigger thrill just to get the same baseline feeling you're chasing the dragon.
And the argument here is that if you make excitement the design of your life, you will never arrive at peace.
Never. You'll just be exhausted.
That hits hard. It's the appetizer, not the meal concept. We're trying to survive on appetizers and wondering why we're still so hungry.
Precisely. Excitement is too shallow to be the design of a whole life.
So if excitement is just the spark, let's look at the next pillar. This one seems a bit more stable. The mood, what we typically call happiness in everyday language.
Now, we do have to navigate a bit of a definition shift here.
Right.
When Joseph Smith used the word happiness in that quote, happiness is the object in design, he was talking about a total eternal state of being.
But in our modern vernacular, in 21st century English, when we say, I just want to be happy, we usually mean a vibe.
We mean comfort.
The material actually calls it the sunny weather of the soul, which is such a beautiful, poetic way to describe it. It's a pleasant, medium-term state.
It's not the high-intensity spike of excitement.
Right, it's more of a gentle hum.
Think about what that looks like in daily life.
The examples given are just so nice. It's a Saturday where you have zero chores and the house is clean.
Love those days.
Or a week where you're actually getting along with your parents or your partner and there's just no friction at all. Or the relief when a really difficult exam gets canceled.
It's smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing.
That's the key phrase. This modern version of happiness is almost entirely dependent on external circumstances.
It relies on things going your way.
Exactly. It relies on the absence of conflict, the presence of comfort, and good weather. But therein lies the structural flaw if we're trying to build a whole life on it.
It's fragile.
Incredibly fragile.
Yeah.
If your sense of well-being is built on smooth sailing, what happens when the storm comes?
Because the storm always comes.
Always. A friend stops texting you, you get a flat tire, it rains on your beach day.
If your design is just modern happiness, your foundation crumbles the second the environment changes.
It's like building a house out of wallpaper. It looks beautiful, covers all the cracks, but it's definitely not holding the roof up.
That is such a good analogy, and this is where the critique of our modern culture really comes in. We are so obsessed with optimizing for comfort.
We really are. We think if we can just remove all the stressors from our lives, we'll finally be happy.
But Smith's teaching, and frankly most robust philosophy, suggests that true fulfillment has to be resilient. It has to work even when the weather is bad.
Which transitions us perfectly to the third pillar.
And I'll be honest with you, this is the one I struggled with the most when I was reading through the source material. The connection. Joy.
Why did you struggle with it?
Well, because in my head, joy just sounds like super happiness, like happiness plus. But this framework argues it's a completely different mechanism entirely.
It is different. And the distinction is so critical for this roadmap. If happiness is about what I have or how comfortable I am, joy is about who I am with and how I am serving.
So it shifts the camera angle from selfie mode to panorama mode.
Panorama mode, that's a brilliant way to put it. Joy is fundamentally relational. It's the glow of connection and meaning.
And the examples the material provides are very telling because they aren't about things being easy.
Not at all.
It's about seeing a younger sibling succeed after they really struggled, or feeling a profound sense of belonging within a team that's working on something incredibly hard.
Or a moment of deep spiritual clarity.
But here's my question on this. Can you have joy if you're absolutely miserable? Like if I'm trudging through a difficult project or I'm exhausted from caring for a sick family member, I'm definitely not happy in that sunny weather sense.
Right, you're not comfortable.
No, I'm stressed. But can I still have joy?
Yes, that is the paradox and the real power of joy. It's fuel. It's distinct from pleasure.
Okay.
You can be physically uncomfortable, tired, or even grieving, and still experience that deep resonance of joy because you are connected to something or someone you love.
It's the realization that life has a purpose beyond your own ego.
Exactly. It remains even when circumstances are terrible.
That actually clicks for me. It's like imagine you're hiking a mountain, your legs are burning, you're sweating, maybe it's pouring rain, so you aren't comfortable. You aren't in the sunny weather of happiness,
Well,
but you're with your best friends and you're pushing toward the summit together. That feeling, that's joy.
that's it. The sun might be behind a cloud, but the internal fire of the hearth is keeping you warm. When Joseph Smith spoke of the design of our existence, the argument is that he wasn't talking about a life of endless vacation days. He was talking about a life capable of holding that specific frequency of emotion.
The quiet realization that you are part of something bigger.
Precisely.
So to recap where we are, we have the spark, which is excitement, that's the ignition. We have the weather, which is happiness, that's the paint and decor.
We have the hearth, joy, the warmth inside.
But we still need something to keep the house from falling down entirely. We need a solid foundation. And that brings us to the fourth and final pillar, satisfaction.
Satisfaction. This is the anchor. And unlike the other three, Satisfaction isn't really a feeling in the sensory emotional sense. It's an evaluation.
It's cognitive.
Yes, it's a cognitive realization that you have met a standard. It's looking back at something and saying, I did that.
It's the flex of a life well lived.
The flex, exactly.
And the examples here are so grounding. It's the feeling of closing your laptop after you finally finished a grueling 20-page essay.
You're probably exhausted.
Your eyes hurt, you aren't excited, but there is this deep sense of, it is done.
Or the sensation after a really long shift at your first real job. Your feet hurt, your back aches, but you earned that paycheck.
Or, and I think this is the most important one the source mentions, the self-respect you gain from choosing to be honest when it would have been so much easier to tell an easy lie.
That's the big one, integrity.
Satisfaction seems to be the only pillar that you just can't fake. You can fake excitement. You can definitely fake happiness.
Yeah.
But you can't fake the feeling of having actually done the work.
And that is exactly why it is the antidote to imposter syndrome.
Let's dig into that for a second, because imposter syndrome is everywhere right now. We all feel like we're just pretending to be adults or pretending to be competent at our jobs. How does satisfaction fix that?
Well, think about why you feel like an imposter in the first place. It's usually because you're relying on the spark.
Okay.
Maybe you're naturally talented, or you got lucky, or you're just charming, but you haven't laid the bricks. You don't have the hard evidence of your own competence.
And satisfaction provides that proof.
It's the receipt. When you do something genuinely hard, when you keep a difficult promise, when you build a real skill, you create a foundation of satisfaction that tells your brain, I am capable, I am reliable.
So if you're feeling empty or feeling like a fraud, chasing more excitement isn't going to fix it.
No.
You don't need another party. You need a project. You need to do something hard.
You need an anchor. If excitement is the spark and joy is the glow, satisfaction is the solid ground you stand on. It's the end result of labor.
I love that. So when we zoom out and look at this whole architecture of a life we've built today, the problem isn't that we want excitement or happiness. Those are great things.
They are.
The problem is that we're trying to build the foundation out of the wrong materials.
We are confused architects. We're trying to use novelty to build a foundation, but as we discussed, novelty evaporates.
And we're trying to use comfort to build a roof.
But comfort blows away in the wind. To follow the design that Smith talks about, we have to respect the materials.
Use excitement to get moving. Enjoy happiness when the weather is good. Seriously, enjoy the smooth sailing when it's there.
Seek joy through deep connection and service. And build your satisfaction through hard work and integrity.
This brings us right back to that word design. Happiness is the object and design of our existence. It implies intent. It implies that we aren't just passive observers in our own lives.
That's the absolute core takeaway for me from this source. The text argues that we have to move from simply reacting to our environment, reacting to a notification, reacting to a sunny day, to intentionally building a soul capable of enduring joy.
Building a soul, that sounds a little daunting.
It is daunting, but the alternative is just drifting. The source notes that the path leading to this object of existence is paved with integrity, service to others, and the courage to grow.
That's not an easy path.
No, not a shortcut.
It's actual work, but it's the kind of work that leads to that deep satisfaction and joy, rather than just the fleeting high of the next dopamine hit.
And that's where the true fulfillment comes in. It's not about denying the fun parts of life at all. It's about ordering them correctly. The destination isn't a permanent state of giggling excitement.
Right.
The destination is a resilient, anchored state of being where you are connected to others and proud of who you are actually becoming.
It really reframes the whole pursuit of happiness, doesn't it? It's not a chase at all. It's a construction project. You're laying bricks every single day.
Every choice you make is a brick. Every time you choose connection over isolation, that's a brick for joy. Every time you finish a task you really didn't want to do, that's a brick for satisfaction.
So to wrap this up for you, our listener, we've covered a ton of ground today in this deep dive. We started with the mirage of the good life, that feeling of running endlessly on a treadmill, and we ended up with a blueprint.
We did. And if I had to distill all these sources down to one thing, I'd say this. Stop waiting for the feeling to magically arrive.
The argument here is that the true object of our existence isn't something you catch.
It's something you accumulate. You build it through the satisfaction of hard work and the joy of deep connection. Understanding these four distinct pillars stops that exhausted feeling of constantly chasing a moving target.
You can finally stop running and start building.
Exactly.
I think that's something you can apply immediately, whether you're prepping for a massive meeting at work, studying for your finals, or honestly just trying to navigate a regular Tuesday.
Stop looking for the spark to sustain you.
The spark is just to get you out of bed. The anchor is what keeps you standing when the storm hits.
Well said.
Before we sign off today, here's something for you to chew on. We talked a lot about how easy it is to chase the spark because it's instant. It's right there on the screen in your hand. But if excitement fades and happiness depends entirely on the weather, I want you to look at your life right now. Look at your calendar for this upcoming week. Are you spending all your energy chasing the spark, or are you doing the harder, quieter work of building the anchor?
That really is the question.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.